Review Part 2, tomorrow at 9 on ESPN.
5 months after signing a 5-year, $124 million deal with the Knicks, sources told the New York Post that Carmelo Anthony would be open to dropping his no-trade clause if team president Phil Jackson strikes the deal with a team Anthony would like to play for. The back cover of the New York Post says it all. Regrets? He has a few. But just wait a second. Carmelo Anthony addressed the specific report this morning. Here's his quote. Come on, man, actually. After all the work I did to get here and get back here, if I was to get up and want to leave now, that would just make me weak. All right. Stephen A., do you even believe the reports?
Well, first of all, let's understand what the report said, because you see, obviously, Carmelo Anthony, you know, has been coached by Leon Rose, who should be working for the CIA himself. He's a master at never really answering questions and deflecting attention away from what the real question is. The article did not accuse Carmelo Anthony of asking for a trade. It did not say that Carmelo Anthony absolutely positively wants out. It says that Carmelo Anthony, a member of the New York Knicks, who's at 4-20, has more losses than anybody in the NBA, is off to the worst start in franchise history, who's looking around and sees absolutely no help on the roster, who's wondering whether or not they'll be able to acquire a legitimate player in free agency with the debacle that is taking place before our very eyes with the New York Knicks right now. Would that Carmelo Anthony consider moving on if Phil Jackson found an ideal team for Carmelo to play with while not having to give up his money? Who the hell does Carmelo Anthony or Leon Rose think they're fooling by saying that answer's no? I know both of them. You know how much love I have for my man Melo Skip Bayless. I can't believe that he's been subjected to this atrocity. I'm so disgusted with the New York Knicks. Don't even get me started. I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to even talk about them that much because I'm just going to lose my mind if I do it. But let's be clear. Carmelo Anthony had ample opportunity to just sign with the New York Knicks, to re-sign with them, knowing they could pay him the max. How long did he take before agreeing to re-up with the New York Knicks? It was over about 5 or 6 weeks. Why, Skip Bayless? I recall Chicago being in the mix. I recall him taking a trip out to L.A. He wasn't just sitting there spreading his wings and wanting to be, pursued or whatever the case may be. He even had to stall for an additional week because he was considering Chicago when Chicago only had half the amount of money the New York Knicks had to offer him. So suddenly, if Phil Jackson could get on the phone with Paxson and Gar Forman and say, you know what, we can work out a deal where you could end up in Chicago, and Melo, you could end up in Chicago for the $124 million that you're getting paid. You're trying to tell me that's not something that you would consider because you've pledged your heart, body, and soul to the New York Knicks? Are we all boo-boo the fool? Are we all that lost, that far gone? Let's stop it. The report simply says that Carmelo Anthony would consider, if indeed Phil Jackson found an ideal landing spot for him, like one I just mentioned. It's not going to happen. I don't think Carmelo's going anywhere. I certainly know that Carmelo didn't go to the Knicks and ask to be traded. But if it's ideal and Phil found a way to get him in an ideal situation while Melo could keep his money because he loves his money, would he be willing to do it? That answer is yes. And to say otherwise is disingenuous. It's on a part, especially on the part of Leon Rose, his agent, along with Melo himself. That's simply not true. And by the way, he wouldn't owe anybody an apology for it. I'm a native New Yorker, a diehard Knicks fan, and I'd skip town on them to go to Chicago or somewhere else because they look that pathetic right now. So let's stop it, and let's stop trying to knock down reports and act like people are saying something that they didn't say. Would you consider going to a better situation while keeping your money, Carmelo Anthony? He knows that answer would be yes. Let's stop the nonsense.
Okay, but time out. Should we then read into this that there was a premeditated master plan at work here? That maybe Carmelo said, I can get the most money if I stay home with the Knicks, but then maybe I'll give less than my best for a while, and all of a sudden they'll say, man, we don't want him anymore. Let's shop him because he wanted to go somewhere else. with his
That's
big
not
money?
Skip Bayless, I get offended when people say that about Melo because that's not in him.
Okay.
Melo's going to be Melo, and Melo's going to play the way Melo plays. But a shortage of effort because I'm trying to get out of town. Melo's got far more integrity than that, and I get tired of people not. Melo's a good brother. He would not do that.
I agree with you. I'm a Melo fan, but I had to ask that question of you because you know a lot more about this than me. But I thought Carmelo pledged undying allegiance to the Knicks. So any suggestion, whiff of this, is offensive to me because I want Melo here for the duration, for the long haul, to make this right, because he's being paid a whole lot of money to make this right. So I don't even want to hear that you think he would be somewhat open to it if they brought him a deal. I would think he'd be close to it because he wants to live and die in New York. Like, this is it.
Well, Skip,
we got a minute, Stephen A.
You have to make up your mind because that applies to Kobe and with the Lakers, but Kobe has 5 rings to show for it. Melo has never even played in an NBA Finals. So if you see an opportunity, for example, where Chicago comes on board and you get a chance to play with Joakim Noah and Derrick Rose and a Pau Gasol and a Taj Gibson and a Jimmy Butler,
Kick rocks.
not that you would be able to. Come on now.
Yeah.
All right. Turn that down?
Gentlemen, we leave it there.
Whew.
Bruce Arians has some strong comments about the Rams after last night's win. Buckle up. It's what you've been waiting for. Right, Bayless?
The greatest final takes ever
are next. That's teamwork.
Budman tip number 35. What you spray on in the morning could very well determine what you take off at night. New long-lasting Bodman body sprays in sexy scents she loves.
The Yumbo hot ham and cheese from the 70s is back. Yumbo. Hot Black Forest ham and melted cheese. And it's on the Burger King 2 for $5 menu. You're young straight. Yumbo. Only at Burger King.
The Sports Authority Holiday Sale is here with great gifts for the whole family. This week only, buy any GoPro camera, including the all-new Hero 4, and get a $50 Sports Authority cash card free. Hurry in while supplies last. Sports Authority, all things sporting good.
Introducing a PM pain reliever that dares to work